Hi everyone, fB here to bring you the 7th race in Season 4 of fB's Weekly, powered by ragajungle.biz, the #1 website for Raga Jungle music, and Team Acer. This is an endurance race that I host every Saturday. The track that will be used is released just before the race goes live and is a mixture of different styles that you find in Stadium, such as tech, dirt, speed, obstacles, etc. No registration is needed to participate, simply join the server before starting time and you will be eligible to play. Right now we're seeing some warm-ups on this week's track, which is Never Say Goodbye by El Wermo. And here's a closer look at the season. It consists of 10 races in total. Top 15 will get points in every race, with the person getting the best lap receiving 5 bonus points. And it's your 7 best results that will count. For this season, ragajungle.biz and Team Acer are sponsoring the race with €1,000, which will be divided between top 15 after the season is over. Also new for this edition is that I will be running a time attack season in conjunction with the normal race, with pretty much the same format, and it will also have some prize money, which is based on contributions through Twitch and YouTube. And let's take a look at the current standings. Last week, Wally won his first race of the season, and with that got back on the podium in the total standings. Flyer though is still leading the race as he took 4th place last week, and he's still in front of Roa, who also had another good performance by taking 3rd. Behind these three we got Sand at 4th, who didn't play last week and lost 1 position. Marseille 9 did play last position, but still lost 1 position down to 5th place now. Tween did well and took 2nd last week, gained 1 position, is up to 6th place. Spam took 5th and dropped 1 position with that, and is currently at 7th place. Shorty stays at 8th place. Link gained 3 positions despite losing his 3rd place in the last lap of last week's race. So he's at 9th. Jerem at 10th gained 1 position. Flyer at 11th lost 2 positions. Aurel at 12th also lost 2 positions. Then we have Saber and Shark keeping 13th and 14th place, and Massa new into the top 15 after getting some points last week. Finally, if you want to find out more information about this race, that can be found below the stream or the VOD. So we are about 1 minute left to go before the race will start. Let's take a look at who is driving this week. Flyer, the current leader, will be participating this week as well. We'll see if he can keep his 1st place, or if Roa perhaps will catch up to him. He's not that far behind, only 11 points, so it's definitely possible that if Roa does well this week, he could take over that 1st place. And see if we have Wally driving as well. Yes, here he is. So we got the current top 3 driving. Sand, who didn't play last week, is now driving, and he almost always does really well in the race, and wouldn't be surprised whatsoever if he won this one. Who else do we have? Tween is driving. Did well last week, 2nd place. His best result in quite a long time. And that's gonna be the end of the warm-up, so we are about to go live. fB's Weekly, Race 7 of Season 4. It's about to start. Good luck, have fun. This time there will be 23 laps. The race will take about 45 minutes for 1st place, and then a 10-minute timer will start for everyone else to finish as well. And here we go. Let's follow the current leader of the season, Flyer, through the 1st lap. This map, Never Say Goodbye, is made by El Wermo. And quite a flowy track, I would say. El Wermo, of course, a fan of tech, so we do have quite a bit of tech in this track. But we start off with a dirt turn, which Flyer does really well, and he will go up in the lead. And then we have some more dirt here, a tight passage here that we might see some people having trouble with. Following that, we have the speed section. First a loop, you have to turn quite a lot to the right there. And then we have a tech part up next. Flyer off to a really good start here. Takes the lead with 4,800s and then ends up crashing. So he's gonna lose a couple of positions, not that many. Let's see in the next checkpoint which position he will have. He's down to 62nd place as he goes into the speed section, but this is not a disaster or anything. It's still very early into the race, and he's only a couple of seconds behind the first place. So we have a pretty long speed section. This one here, you want to keep your grip in the uphill so that you can make it through the loop. And apparently if you go too much to the left in this loop, you will get stuck in camera 3. I missed that during my testing, so yeah, if you're driving in the race, try to not go to the left in that loop. Alright, so we got a bit more tech. Here's a platform part. Hoverflyer up to 31st. Wally has taken over the lead. And we are actually nearing the end of the first lap. This map is a bit shorter than previous maps. It's less than 2 minutes actually. It's like 1 minute 55 seconds or so. Maybe even lower than that for the fastest times. We have a bit of dirt here again, followed by a underground section. And then there's only one turn left, which is this one. You want to actually go a bit wider here so that you keep your grip. And Hoverflyer into lap second, up to 24th place now. Here's the current leader though, Wally, who is at 3rd place in the total standings. Won last week, trying to make it 2 in a row. And yeah, that could definitely happen. So far so good for Wally. Then we have, this is Shark at 2nd place, who took 4th place in race 5. That's his best result so far. He is currently at 14th place in total standings. Off to a good start as well at 2nd place. Tween is at 3rd. Trying to ride the momentum from taking 2nd last week. Then we have Alexor at 4th place. I haven't seen him in a while. But has done well in the past. As we see Thompson having a bit more speed going into the loop, will take over that 4th place. Roa will also pass Alexor for a moment at least, then he makes a mistake or got a bug, lost a bit of speed, down to 6th. Here is Link at 7th. Link, who was at 3rd place for a long time last week, but then in the last lap he got a slowdown in the speed section and had to respawn, and that lost him a lot. He got down to 7th place instead. So that was a bit frustrating for Link. Let's see if he can do better this time, as he will drop down to 10th place here. Saber, Hoverflyer, Yannex and Remix will all pass him. So Hoverflyer now up to 7th place after his blunder in the first lap. Here's Remix now at 10th place, as we see Wally with the fastest time. Hoverflyer though will claim the first local record, 154.06. So it's probably gonna be maybe 153, 152 for the best lap. Of course, the best lap will give you 5 bonus points, which could be very important considering how close this season has been so far. And it's not that many races left to go. Remix with a couple of mistakes there. Mars 89 and Shadi, also Sand will pass. Sand not having that good of a start. We are into lap 3 already out of 23. And yeah, that's true. This map does not have that many obstacles. Maybe not any obstacles at all actually, but yeah, El Wormo wasn't able to finish the map. I actually had a bit more feedback for him, but he had to remove his computer because he had some important tests coming up, so he didn't have time to fix it, but the map was still good enough to use in the race, and I needed one more map since I didn't have enough maps for the rest of the season, but now everything is fine, and this map I think is still pretty good. Sand now up to 6th place, trying to catch up to Roa, who's at 5th. Wally still in the lead, 1.5 seconds ahead of Tween. Hoverflyer has now gone up to 3rd place. There's Morris 89 at 7th. He's at 5th place in the season. Has been on the podium only once though in this season. He took 2nd in race 2, but he's been close several times before, and is in the top 10 right now. So we'll see what he can do. We got Jerem at 8, and Jerem has been a bit of a breakthrough, I suppose, in the season. He's been doing really good. Several top positions so far. Currently at 10th place with 74 points. He's at 8th place right now in this race. Dido is at 9th place. Though we will see Santana and a Penta player pass. Let's see who this Penta player is. It's Scrappy, who hasn't played too much in the season. Following those players, we got Yannex at 12th, a former winner of the race. Has won it once before. Shadi at 13th place. Saffron at 14th. And Saber at 15th, the current last player to get points in the season. Let's go back to the top. It's still Wally, who has kept the lead now for a couple of laps. And Haverflyer has gone up to 2nd place. Passing Tween, not with much though. But so far this is a close race, and I think that makes sense since this map is quite easy. Not that many difficulties. Smooth sailing. So we might see a close finish to this race. Haverflyer now extending his lead over Tween. Then we got Roa at 4th place. And right now Haverflyer will stay in front of Roa in the total standings. As we see Sand claiming the first local record, 153.99. And he is at 5th place. Morris A9 has gained 1 position now, up to 6th. In close pursuit of Sand, and will pass, and also Tween, who lost quite a bit of speed there. Link will also pass Tween, who will lose a couple of positions down to 6th place. Was at 2nd in the previous lap. That just shows how quickly it can change. But this continues to be very, very close. It is only about 5 seconds up to Wally in the lead for Tween. And, well, actually, Sand has now gone up to 2nd place. Where's Haverflyer? Where's Haverflyer? I can't see him. Where is Haverflyer? What? Am I blind, or did he actually... Yeah, I don't see Haverflyer anymore. Did he crash or what? I guess he disconnected. Oh, that is really unfortunate. Where is he though? Yeah, here he is. Yeah, he has disconnected. What an unfortunate situation for Haverflyer. Means he will not get any points this week. And of course the good thing though is that your 7 best results will count. So Haverflyer may not be, well, he almost guaranteedly will not be the leader after this race anymore, but he still got a very good chance to win the whole season. As we see Wally now claiming the first local record, 153.71, and he's built up a 5-second lead over Sand, who took over that 2nd place. Since Haverflyer got a disconnect. It's unfortunate that this game is still so unstable. Lots of players having their game crash. It's really a bummer, but yeah, it's just nothing I can do about it. I still appreciate that so many people still want to participate in the race, even though there's always that risk that your game will crash. So yeah, it's quite the bummer. So yeah, Wally now in the lead with 5 seconds over Sand, and we got Link up to 3rd place. Will he be able to keep it this week? That is the big question. Yannex has gone up to 4th place now. And Roa has dropped down to 5th. Morris A9 still keeping 6th place. And then we got Dido at 7th. Not sure if this might be his best result so far if he keeps it up. Beef Ooh, with low speed over the stretch, Beef and Shorty will pass him. Shorty, who has not been on the podium at all this season. Still at 8th place though with 99 points. I think his best position is 7th. Right now at 9th in this race, trying to catch up to Tween. There's Jerem at 10th. Beef at 11th. Wally with another improvement, 153.01. This is looking quite promising for Wally. May be able to win the race for the 2nd week in a row. As we see Beef entering lap 7 out of 23. We also got Bren, who was extremely close to getting points last week. Barbos defeated him with just a few hundreds to take 15th place, but right now Bren at 12th. And yeah, this is also a bit of a breakthrough. I haven't really seen Bren in the top 15 before, but he's been doing well 2 races in a row now. So let's see if he can finally crack that top 15. Tween continues to struggle here, down to 12th place now, 13th. Saber will pass him as well. Great start for Tween, but after that, it's not been looking as promising. See if he can stay in the top 15. Massa is close by at 14th place. And we see Scrappy overtaking him over the loop. It's important to build up as much speed as possible. So Scrappy is currently at 15th place. It's only 16 seconds between 1st and 15th place, and would have been less if Wally wasn't dominating so much. Scrappy will end up crashing. Shadi and Nimp will pass him. And also Thompson, who takes over 15th place now. But here is the current leader, about to enter lap 8 now. And let's see here. Well, right now we got 45 points. So he would be the current leader of the season. He will pass both Javi Flyer and Roa, I believe. Or maybe Roa will actually stay in front still, since he's doing pretty good at 5th place. Oh, and just as I say that, Roa drops down to 7th. So, yeah, we'll see. He's down to 9th now even. Big mistake from Roa. But it's so close that the positions just keep on changing every second. A lot can still happen, and Wally having a 6-second lead, that's pretty good, but it's not impossible for him to lose it. Although I would argue that on this map there's not really any place where you can lose like a lot of time. So yeah, we'll see. But right now, looking good for Wally. As he drives through another checkpoint. Here is Sand at 2nd place. Then we got Link. Ooh, Link having to respawn. And Yannex will pass him. Also, maybe Roa, Jerem, Morrissey 9, Dido, Beef, and Tween also passing Link, who is down to 10th place. Okay, I guess that place is where you can lose a lot of time. So that was a bit unfortunate for Link. Yannex now on the podium at 3rd place behind his teammate Sand. Both players driving for VSP, very short players. As we see Wally improving his local record once again, 152.90. Sand 153.49 claims his 2nd local record, but he is behind with 1.5 seconds. That is quite noteworthy. So Wally is just completely dominating, just like he did last week. Can take his 2nd win in a row. And yeah, it's really unfortunate that Javi Flyer had his disconnect, because I think he was driving equally good as Wally. Spam improves his local record as well, but he is nowhere close to top 15. Where is Spam, who took 5th place 2 weeks in a row? He's at 23rd place, so not a good start at all here for Spam. See if he can reach the top 15 and get some points at least. It's not going to be that many, I think. It's not an easy map to make a comeback on. We can take a look at the other pages here as well. See some other noteworthy players. Shorty has dropped down to 20th place, I see. Was in the top 15. Who else do we have? Toto at 39th place. Toto, who took 12th place last week, but not having as much success this time. Who else do we have? We got Sky, who is at 54th behind Banana and ahead of Major. He has also got some points this season, I believe. Yes, he took 13th place in race 3, for example. May have some other results as well, but not looking as good for this race. And Royal is at 66th, has been in the top 20 a couple of times, not been in the top 15 so far in the season. It's not going to be in this this time either, at 65th place. That's too far away. As I remember, I forgot to mention how many players started. I think we were over 200 players actually. I'll have to go back and look at that. We got 152 players still driving. One of them is Mario for IGN. It's also an ESL admin, and it's quite good news actually, because the RPG Cups are coming back to ESL. The ESL RPG Night Cup, which I believe is hosted by Mario, will be back next weekend, which I will be streaming. And then also later tonight at 8 PM CST, there is the MTC Otter Cup, I believe it's called, something like that at least, which is another RPG Cup if you want to play in it. I won't be able to stream that one though, but definitely check it out. Alright, who else do we have? We got Mini for DDR driving at 105th place behind Laximus and ahead of Don't Care. Wally now 15 seconds ahead of Yannex. What happened? What happened? Sanders dropped down to 5th place. Oh wow, huge gaps all of a sudden. I think last time I checked was like 6 seconds, but now it's 15 seconds. Wow, crazy. Alright, who else do we have driving? We got Kure driving again this week, 117th place. An old school Swedish player. It's cool to see him drive. Behind Vietnam and ahead of Knight right now at 117th place. We got Harry for Esports United at 133rd place. And can we find the current last player here? Maybe it is Elephant, 148th place. Looks like he's not going to be able to join Team Acer this week either. We'll have to crack the top 100 to make it happen. But right now, still need to gain 48 positions, so it's not looking good for Elephant. Alright, let's go back to the top now. This is crazy. Wally, 15, almost 16 seconds ahead. And of course, last week he won with 19 seconds ahead of Tween. So Wally, when he wins, he likes to win with a huge margin, it seems. Yeah, I mean, he's gonna win this. 15 seconds, that is a lot. So he is just driving so much faster than everyone else right now. Yannex has gone up to 2nd place. Will we see him back on the podium? It's been a while. As we see the players hitting that booster there, that's quite an interesting strat. Trying to get as much speed as possible. And Roa has now gone up to 2nd place actually. Has passed Yannex. So this means that Roa will definitely still stay in front of Wally in the total standings. So he will take over that first place over Flyer at least momentarily. And Wally will go up to second place. Not sure who's going to be at third though. Maybe Sand. Yeah, Sand probably. Who is at fourth place in total standings and is also at fourth place in the race. Tween at fifth place. Been a bit of a roller coaster for Tween. But still doing pretty good at fifth place. Saber has gone up to sixth place. He was down quite a lot in the rankings, but has done a good job catching up. Link at seventh had that unfortunate respawn, but it's also still doing pretty good at seventh place, just ahead of Morris89. Dido still in the top 10 at ninth. Massa at 10th place. Aurel at 11th, who has been on the podium 2 times in this season as he makes a huge crash. Several players will pass him. One of them is Spam, who was above 20th place last time I checked, but now he's up to 11th. So good comeback as well from Spam. See who this player is. It is Paul for Back to Business as my game crashed. Oh man. Alright, I'll be right back. Just gonna rejoin the server. Good stuff. La 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 la. Okay. At least it didn't take like several minutes for the game to start up. It's always something. Ah, man. Alright. Server at least is still up and running. Alright, we are back and Wally is still in the lead. And how far ahead is he now? What? Wait a minute. No, this can't be right. Okay, there's something fishy going on right now. It says that Yannex is... Okay, now it updated. Okay, this didn't... Expansion wasn't updating. So Wally is now 19 seconds ahead of Yannex. Yeah, he's probably gonna win with an even larger margin this week. Here is Roa at third place, just behind Yannex actually, so you might see an exciting battle between them for second place. We are into lap 13. Let's actually have an overview look of the race. So, Wally is in the lead. 19 seconds now ahead of Roa, who is at second. Yannex is at third. Then we got Tween at fourth, who isn't far behind either. Sand is at fifth, 2 seconds behind Tween. Link at sixth. Saber at seventh. Dido at eighth. Morris89 now at 8th. Dido at 9th. Spam at 10th. Bren at 11th. Paul at 12th. Massa drops down a lot in the rankings. We got Adrian at 13th place, Aurel at 14th, and Shorty back into the top 15. So those are current players getting points. And Wally still having the best lap, I think. It's not updated anymore, so I need to look at it this way. Yes, 152.90. Wally with the best lap. We'll give him 5 bonus points. Tween is the closest. 153.27. Still a possibility that Wally will lose that best lap, but I don't think, unless he gets a disconnect, that he will lose his first place in the race though. He's now 22 seconds ahead of Tween at second place. Roa will drop down to 5th. Sand will pass him. Yannex also drops down to 6th place. Both Yannex and Roa making fatal mistakes, costing them a couple of positions. Link goes up to 5th place. Interesting. Here is Saber at 7th. And he could definitely gain a couple of more positions. Got Link and Yannick's in his view. Dido at 8. I'm interested in Dido, what his best result is. I'm gonna look that up on the scoreboard. So Dido's best result is 6th place. He's played 4 times in the race. He took 8th in the first, 7th in the second, 6th in the third, and then 13th in his most recent race, which was race 47. So he has actually done well, even though he hasn't played that much, as he makes a crash. Goes down to 10th place with that. Beef will pass him, among others. Spam has now gone up to 8th place. So he's gonna get quite a lot of points. It's crazy actually that if you don't count Wally, this would have been a really interesting fight for first place. But now it's like, well, it's as far from exciting as it could be. Roy with a good time, 153.07. So he is getting closer to Wally's time. That's for sure. Link just ahead of Spam. Could go up to 7th place. And then we see Yannick and Saber just in front. And Spam will pass Link, who clipped the wall before the loop. So Spam is up to 7th place now. Here is Yannick at 6th and Saber at 5th. Tween at 4th. There's a bit of a gap down to Saber. He's 5 seconds in front of him. And then he got 2 seconds up to Sand, who is back on the podium at 3rd place. Roa is back to 2nd place. And the only player that seemingly is not making any mistakes whatsoever is Wally, who is now 23 seconds ahead of Roa at 2nd place. So this is gonna be a massive win for Wally. And I'm sure before this is over, he could maybe reach the 30-second mark. Not so sure he will get the record though, which is 36 seconds by Sand. But yeah, this is definitely gonna be one of the biggest wins ever in the history of the race. Such an impressive performance by Wally, and especially considering that he actually did the same thing last week. And last week he had a mistake where he lost like 10 seconds and he still won with 19 seconds. So yeah, Wally is doing great. And Roa and San now have further established their positions, so we might see them on the podium. Tween is the only one right now that could challenge them, but not so sure he's gaining any time. Still 2 seconds behind Sand. And then we have a whole lot of players here that are just a few seconds between them, starting with Yannick, then Saber, Spam. I guess those 3 players are like one group. Then we got 2 seconds down to Link. Another 2 seconds down to Bren. This is gonna be his first time in the top 15. Beef then at 10th. Dido will pass him though. Massa back into the top 15 at 12th place. Then we got Adrian at 13th. I think this is also Adrian's first time in the top 15. Aurel at 14th and Paul at 15th place, just ahead of Shorty at 16th. We are into lap 16, soon lap 17 out of 23. And yeah, Wally will be the winner unless he gets a disconnect. Let's follow Sand for a while. If you can catch up to Roa. One mistake is all it takes for Sand to gain one more position. Oh, and there it is! Roa hits the wall. As I said in the first lap, I believe, that tight passage in the dirt might cause some trouble. And I think we've seen a couple of times now that the players have lost a bit of time there. So Sand goes up to second place. And this opens up for Tween to possibly get on the podium for the second week in a row. He's only 2 seconds behind Roa. Certainly possible. Spam has gone up to 5th place and well, I guess that's his favorite position since he took 5th place last week and then also 2 weeks ago he took 5th place. So this could be the 3rd race in a row for Spam taking 5th place. Probably would have been a better position if he didn't have such a bad start. Could still go up to 4th place though. Not far behind Tween. Here is Yannex at 6th place. Saber seems to have lost a bit of time. 3 seconds behind Yannex. Here is Link at 8th place now, ahead of Dido at 9th. Massa at 10th now. Adrian at 11th. Shodi at 12th. And last time I checked he was at 16th place. So yeah, it just shows how close it is. Still less than 1 minute between 1st and 22nd place. And again, if it wasn't for Wally, it would have been even closer. So this is a really close race. And quite exciting, except for that 1st place. Wally now into lap 18. As we see Scrappy claiming the 5th local record, 153.50. And Wally also going for that booster. Let's see if the other players are doing it too. It's gonna be a while before they get there though. We still got 126 players driving, so that's pretty good. Sand will also go for it. I think Roa might have not gone for it though. Tween does not go for it either, and neither does Spam. Yannex might have gone for it. Saber does not. Link will go for it. Dido does not. Massa neither. Not Shori, not Aurel, I think. Bren no. Adrian maybe. It's really close though, and now they've all passed that part. But yeah, not everyone doing it. It's not really much of a difference, so I think maybe at most you gain a couple of tenths. So it's not too much. Looks like Tween is now further behind Roa. It's up to 4.5 seconds. So the trend is not looking that good for Tween. Instead, it seems like Spam is getting closer to him, so we might see him dropping down to 5th place. Shorty claims the 6th local record, as now Sand losing a bit of speed at that section. Not as much as Roa did though, but this will allow Roa to catch up to him significantly. Not enough to overtake him, but maybe in a couple of turns. Roa will attack and almost passing Sand. Neck and neck. 19 laps into the race. Sand and Roa battling for 2nd place. Roa with this position, if he takes 2nd or 3rd, he will still take over 1st place in total standings. Since Haviflyer had his game disconnected, Sand will go up to 3rd place, I believe. And Wally will go up to 2nd place. And Sand did not go for the booster that time, I think. Roa will pass him. Takes over second place. Tween still keeping fourth place. Ahead of Spam. Yannex close to Spam as well. So you might see some switches. Saber at 7th, 5 seconds up to Yannex. That might be too difficult. Ooh, almost hit the border. Here's Link at 8th place. It's gonna be another good result for him. Dido at 9th. Masa keeping that 10th place ahead of Shori at 11th. And these two players. Oh, as Shori gets to a complete stop. Hits the side of the checkpoint. And will lose only one position. Aurel will pass him. Thought he would lose a bit more. Yannex claims the 4th local record, 153.39. Also Spam and Masa improving their best times. Here is Beef at 13th place, ahead of Paul at 14th, and Bren now down to 16th. Adrian at 15th place. And now Sand is back to 2nd place and he's 2 seconds ahead of Roa. Back and forth between these two players. And it might be that same part again, that dirt part, where Roa lost all his time. So now it looks like Sand will take 2nd place. Wally has not actually extended his lead as much as I thought he would. So maybe the other players have now figured out the track. Wally just figured it out much earlier than everyone else. We are into lap 20 out of 23. On the home stretch of the race. And Tween now back to 2 seconds only behind Roa. Yannex has gone up to 5th place. Spam has dropped down to 6th. So maybe he won't take 5th place for the 3rd week in a row. Don't think he's gonna lose one more position though, since he is 5 seconds ahead of his teammate Saber. Don't see that as very realistic. Wally has now entered lap 21. Can take it very safe. And perhaps that is what he's doing. He doesn't want to repeat what he did last week, of course, when he also had a massive lead and then had that crash. He had to respawn just before the speed section, which was even worse, so he lost a lot. Want to avoid those kind of mistakes. But he can afford that. He could afford making it twice even, and he would still win at this point. And now Sand is 6 seconds ahead of Roa. As we see Tween now dropping down to 5th place. Yannex has gone up to 4th. It's impossible to call it. And yeah, Roa is not far ahead of Yannex at all. So Yannex still with the chance to get on the podium. As we still got 123 players driving in the race. So that's awesome to see. We now need to watch out. He could lose another position. Spam wants that 5th place. Can he get it? Wally has now entered lap 22. 2 more laps left to go. Having no trouble getting past that section. And is on his way to win the race for the 2nd week in a row. And Sand will take 2nd. Sand actually still won't have 7 results in the race. I believe this would be a 6th. as he will end up crashing, but will still stay in front of Roa this time. It's 3 seconds ahead of him now. We see that Massa has gone up to 7th place. Saber has lost another position, down to 8. Dido at 9th. Shorty was at 13th place, now at 10th. Close with him and Link. Aurel at 12th, his teammate Beef for Lioncast at 13th place. Paul at 14th, and Scrappy trying to stay in the top 15. Bren at 16th place, took 16th last week as well. Will he again be just outside of the top 15? We'll see. And now Wally's 27 seconds ahead of Sand. Could still be 30 seconds. I think this might be the second biggest win right now, which is very, very impressive still. Wally has now entered the last lap. So I guess it won't be 30 seconds unless Sand loses 3 seconds, which could happen, but don't see it happen. Oh, Roa will claim the first local record, 152.43. Steals the 5 bonus points from Wally. If Wally sets a good time though in the last lap, he could still get it back, but he will have to take some huge risks. And this is already late into the lap, so he might have had too slow of a start. But of course, 40 points is still pretty good. Oh yeah, he goes for as much boost as possible, but it backfires. He hits the wall, and that's gonna be it. Wally will not get the best lap. And the 5 bonus points. Looks like Roa will take it instead, unless someone will snipe him. Wally now only with a few turns left to go. Sand still at 2nd place, but Roa with that time is getting really close to him. Could we see Roa going up to 2nd place, or will he take 3rd for the 3rd week in a row? I was talking about Spam taking 5th 3 weeks in a row, but Roa could take it. Could take 3rd for 3 weeks in a row, which is even more insane. Anyways, here is Wally through the last corner, and he will take the race for the 2nd week in a row. GG. Alright, can Sand stay in front of Roa? Looks like he will. Avoids the checkpoint. Here's the dirt. Losing a bit of speed there. Roa might be gaining on him, but it's not enough, it seems. Sand will stay in front and will take 2nd place. And here is Roa for the 3rd week in a row, takes 3rd place. Yannick's with a good result will take... No! Tweed passes him in the last corner! Tweed takes 4th place. Yannick's 5th. Spam at 6th place. Here is Massa at 7th. Saber at 8th. Dido will take 9th. Aurel passing Beef and then it takes 10th. Beef at 11th. Link at 12th. Shorty at 13th. Bren will get into the top 15 at 14th place. Scrappy at 15th. Paul at 16th. Jerem at 17th. Adrian at 18th. Nimp will take 19th place. Here is Morrissey 9 taking 20th. Will not get any points this week. Hayes will take 21st. Danik B 22nd. Bergie 23rd. Edward 24th. Tom 25th. Toto takes 26th. Jumper at 27th. We got Kaori at 28th. Saffron, 1 corner left, will take 29th. Pasco next up at 30th. We got Chaosan. No! Magnet will pass him in the end and take 31st. Monster takes 33rd. Kavix 34th. Shadi was in the top 15 for quite a long time in the start, but will end up taking 35th. Here is Booster at 36th. Sky 37th. Warlord at 38th. Shumi at 39th, Freaky at 40th, Major at 41st, we got George at 42nd, Super Noob at 43rd, Clockren at 44th, here is Pokadur taking 45th, Cami at 46th, Royal will take 47th, ahead of Jerome 98 Pro at 48. Scotty at 49th. Not much of a break here. Just shows how close it was, except Wally, who dominated, which is really impressive that he dominated on such a like non-challenging map. Cruncher will take 51st behind Subin. Here is Checker at 52nd. Match will take 53rd. Grandy at 54th. Pal Tessa will take 55th. Ahead of Axel Alex at 56th. Infinity at 57th. And here is Hubble for Smurf, taking 58th. Soren 59th. Papu at 60th. Harry at 61st. And we got 6 minutes left on the clock for everyone else to finish. Harry will take 64th. Oh, Mario passed him, I guess. Maybe a couple other players as well. Demon will take 65th. John 66th. Jal at 67th. Jamalia at 68th. Wujuradi at 69th. Here is Burst. Bursting into the finish at 70th place. Letalis takes 71st. Next up is Wing for Easy Killer at 72nd. Boss Playa at 73rd. Another Easy Killer player, Delta, takes 74th. And here is Afi taking 75th. Soph or Sophie at 76th. Not that far ahead of Be Happy, but enough to stay in front and take 76th. Be Happy at 77th. Schoonsor lags into the finish at 78th. Ahead of Mini at 79th. Baron at 80th. Geek at 81st. Vonix is next up. Taking 82nd. Don't Care at 83rd. Alien Wars at 84th. Here is Janik 12 at 85th. Premic at 86th. Kure at 87th. Mr. Moo, 5 minutes left on the clock, takes 88. Bear will take 89th. Kettle at 90th. Sparrow, I mean Arrow at 91st. We got Doodoo at 92nd. Here is Stereo Gang. Through the last corner. Takes 93rd. Next up is Sanson at 94th. And then we have... Alright, this is a hard nickname to pronounce. Sprufgjit for Ind will take 95th. We got Mikalodo taking 96th. Dunsty will take 97th. No, wait, he's still not at the end. Finally getting a bit of break. Three minutes left on the clock when Dunsty takes 97th. Next up is Sydney. Takes 98. Clem, who took 6th place last week, will now finish at 99th. That's a big difference. Froggy version 2 or V2 will take the 100th place. There is Milt Ratchet taking 101st, just ahead of Nico 40 at 102nd. Then we got Gus. Okay, Gus disconnected or quit late into the race, so the next player is Euphoric Mate. And he still got a couple of turns left. 2 minutes left on the clock. Still got a fair amount of players still driving. And Euphoric Mate is 4 checkpoints ahead of his nearest opponent, so he's not gonna lose any positions. Takes 103rd. And here is the next player, Get Sprited from Belgium. Takes 104th. Then we have X2Kill 42 from the Avengers. Takes 105th. X-Nuts. Whoa. Is now into the last lap, it seems. Should have enough time to finish, but this might be the last player. Actually, Joffy is just behind. And then Elephant seems to have quit this time. So we got X-Nuts and Joffy with a realistic possibility to finish the race. Yeah, that seems to be it. We also got Jinzg from Finland, but he's too far behind. Also Insta 111. So those two players will not be able to finish the race. But here is X-Nuts and Joffy. Less than 1 minute to go. On their way to the finish. X-Nuts will have to respawn. Joffy trying to catch up. Gets the no drift. Which is good for X-Nuts. 30 seconds left on the clock. Should be enough time. I think at least. It's gonna be close actually. 20 seconds left now. Will this be enough time? X-Nuts going for the respawn here. 15 seconds left. Can these two make it? Joffy seems to have lost additional time, so this might be just X-Nuts. 10 seconds left on the clock now. And I need to save the replay as well. Oh, X-Nuts, 1 quarter left. Will he make it? Yes, he will with 1 second left. And I'll save the replay now. There we go. That's gonna be the end of the race. Good game to everyone. Let's summarize it. So Wally will take the win for the 2nd week in a row. Will not get the best lap this time though, since Roa took it in his 2nd to last attempt. Sand will take 2nd and will go up to 3rd place. Wally will go up to 2nd in total standings. The current leader though will be Roa, who takes 3rd place for the 3rd week in a row. So he will be the new current leader of the season. But that's gonna be it for now. Thanks everyone for playing. Thanks for watching. I'll be back next Saturday with the 8th race of the season. See you then.